Hello, I am Louis XIV, King of France, and I'm here to talk to you about absolutism. Let's start with what is absolutism. Absolutism is the principle of complete and unrestricted government, usually in the hands of one person. I consider myself an absolutist king because I epitomize the ideal of kingship. But let's start about certain facts about my life. The first is that I was born on September the 5th of 1638. My parents were Louis XIII and Anne of Austria. The Cardinal Richelieu was my consular, and before me, he was the consular of my father. When my father died, when I was 5 years old, I assumed the throne of France. But then Richelieu died, and I named Cardinal Mazarin to be the new regent and to counsel me. I didn't want to reign when I was so young, so I waited until I was 20 years old when I finally became the only ruler of France. I named myself the Sun King because the sun was associated with Apollo, god of peace and art, and also was the heavenly god which gave life to all things, regulating everything as it rose to and set. The regularity of my work, habits, and my ritual resigns and retirings were another point of solar comparison. When I got to power, I said the famous phrase, "I am the state." That means that I am the only political force in the kingdom, and that no one is upon me. Only I am the monarch because I had the divine right. Well, I named intendants to carry out my policies in the province of France. I built a strong army of 300,000 men, and I named Jean-Baptiste Colbert to manage my finances. I built the Palace of Versailles to show my wealth and power, because I couldn't rule from Paris, because Paris was the center of nobility. The nobles were mainly against me, because I named myself the absolute ruler of France. I was very vain because I built my palace that had plenty of rooms, and I patronized the arts. Well, from 1667 to 1681, my reign was successful. In 1685, I revoked the Edicts of Nantes, which led to the decline of France because the Huguenots were the strongest workers. Bankruptcy in France due to his and my wife's expenses. Once I almost drowned in a pond because no one was watching me. My brother was educated as a girl, so he never turned against me. There was a revolt against the Cardinal Mazarin, and the people of Paris looked for the royal family to find me to solution their problems. Then I hid from the people in my bed. When the people discovered me, they thought that I was very handsome. They decided to leave my family and to retreat from the palace. That made me to consider the people of France inferior to me, so that they were so inferior that they could not run by themselves, and the nobility was so corrupted that they want me dead. My name was Louis Dudon. That means gift of God. That was because my father, Louis XIII, and my mother, Anne of Austria, couldn't have children, and I was the first male born. I never loved my wife, and that was so I had several lovers.
But why don't you love me, Louis?
Because you were shy, you were devoted. I didn't like you. And then I wanted to show my power, and I bought all kind of things to you.
Yes, I had 300 dresses in 1 year.
Don't forget that was the people of Paris called you Madame Deficit. commanded to build 20 sculptures of myself in Paris. Another thing, as a monarch I was very vain, and I bathed several times a day and changed my underwear 3 times a day.